Hi, everybody, it's Ms.Salazar speaking, and welcome to Science. So, for today, we're going to be learning something new. We're going to be learning the design process and what it means. So, we will be learning about the design process in the next slide. So, go to the next slide and click on the video to play. This is the video. You're going to click on this picture, it will take you directly to the video in YouTube. And then, when you're done watching the video, you're going to come back to the presentation. And once you're done watching the video, you're going to review the steps for the design process. We will be talking about this in the next class. So this is your very first step. It's kind of like the scientific method. So the very first step in the design process is to ask questions. So what is the problem? How do we start? What do we need? To ask questions. And that's very similar to the scientific method because the very first step of the scientific method was to ask yourself questions. Now, this is the second step in the design process. You're going to imagine, you're going to brainstorm ideas, you're going to choose the best one. So, brainstorming basically means that you're going to write down everything that comes to your mind about the problem, how you're going to fix the problem. So you're going to write all of your ideas down, you're going to brainstorm, and then once you have all of your ideas, you're going to choose the best one. Now, this is the third step in the design process. You're going to plan. You're going to draw your design. You're going to make a list of the materials that you need. And this is similar to the scientific method because in the scientific method, the second step was to do what? Once you ask yourself questions, you're going to write what you think will happen in the experiment. In the second step of the scientific method, you were supposed to write the hypothesis and you were supposed to plan out your experiment. So, in this case, in the design process, you're also planning, but you're not planning your experiment, you're planning your design, what you are going to create, and you're going to make a list of those materials. Now, this is the fourth step of the design process, and you're going to actually create something. You're going to follow your plan, you're going to create it, and you're going to test it out. Now, this is again the fourth step in the design process. And in the design process, you're going to create your plan, you're going to follow your plan. And you're going to create it. And this is similar to the scientific method because in the scientific method, you also had this step where you had to do the experiment. And that was the third step in the scientific method, where you had to actually do the experiment and record what happens. Now, this is the very, very last step of your design process. You're going to improve. So you have to ask yourself, what works, what doesn't, how can I improve, how can I make this better? You're going to change your design and make it better. Okay, so this is the last step of the design process.